Oh, good morning, Robertson County. Terry Wilson's here so we can finally get started. Oh, my goodness. We were waiting on you, brother. Hey, guys, I'm kidding. We were not. I was like, God bless Ilyu Maldonado. He's like, Laverne, I wish you'd get there earlier. I'm so sorry, brother. I'm so sorry. Living 2 miles from the studio is dangerous because, I mean, it's like, you're going to have to pull that microphone to you. You know that doesn't work that way. But this is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn Laverne, and there's Terry Wilson and King Gamble in the house. Good morning. We're all so excited to be here so early this morning. Oh my goodness! No, it's going to be a beautiful day. It was gorgeous yesterday.
Yes.
And so we're counting on another beautiful day, Lord, and I just thank you for that. And I just pray you rain down beauty over in Ukraine and just protect my friends over there. If you watch my Facebook page. I'm putting up, I pretty much everything, it's this show and stuff about Ukraine, because I've got, if you were around for the Jesse James thing last year, when we were on the square and doing that reenactment, I had 2 folks from Ukraine I actually had 3. I had their daughter, Regina, as well, but Natasha and Sasha were with me, and they're our missionaries in Ukraine. And a lot of friends over there, and it's just they're in Kyiv, guys, and I'm just trusting God to protect them, and that's enough. But it's very scary. Very scary what they're facing. And, man, anyway, do not cease praying for our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. There is a huge Christian population in Ukraine, in China. In our country, we just do not appreciate. We don't appreciate it. And
No.
These 2 gentlemen right here are here to remind us that we need to remember that our freedom did not come free.
No.
Amen? Amen? Y'all can talk.
Amen.
I mean, I'm just, you're welcome to talk, You're so funny.
The patriots and the militia and the veterans are the ones that have helped us maintain that freedom.
Yep, so much. And it's going to be, I don't know,
I'm just blown away with what I heard last night.
Oh, the State of the Union thing? I did not listen because I can't. I just turn it off. I
listened to lie after lie after lie, and I just could not bring myself to believe. He's talking about everything that the U.S. has done and how strong we was in their giving them help and all this and all that. Well, our previous president's the one that sent the weapons over there. He hasn't, and he hasn't replenished them yet.
Well, and I just I did not listen to him last night. I was at Celebrate Recovery over at Epiphany with my brothers and sisters over there, just worshiping and having a good time.
You saved an hour and 20 minutes of your life right there.
I read a few comments from folks, and so I had an idea of I got the gist of it. And again, too, if I turn on the news, I get so frustrated because all the talk I hear about Ukraine is the implications for us in the future. We got friends over there in harm's way right now. I mean, we got children being killed. It is an absolute abomination. It is war crimes. This guy is trying to start World War III, and he may have just done it. I don't know, but
well, Ken lost 5 years of life last night. He looked like a 50-year-old man yesterday.
Oh, so he got that frustrated with the address last night? And the views and opinions are our own and don't necessarily express the views of the ownership of this radio station. This is a Christian radio station, and so you're going to hear some Jesus stuff, y'all. I'll just tell you, get ready for it. But anyway, and this is our veteran service officer, if you do not know Terry Wilson, and King Gamble is the founder of the Orange Heart Medal Foundation, and the one who just has been poking everybody, saying we need to get this memorial built. We need to get this memorial and get it done. And he is the one who's got the memorial that was the I don't want to say the idea of the mind, but you've been pushing. You're the one, a lot of times all by yourself, getting that memorial placed over there at Memorial Gardens. So
right now, the VFW National Magazine come out with an article about our foundation.
Awesome.
I have been going out to the barn, that's where my office is, at 4 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 10 at night.
Because you're getting bombarded, aren't you?
I have not had a minute's peace. I mean, it's just been unreal. Thank God I've got 2 people, Bobby Tanner in South Carolina and Robin Spence in North Carolina, that are taking up some slack for me. They are the best advocates I've ever got. One of them's a board member. Bobby is. Robin is just an amazing woman. She is like Laverne here. She's just constantly out there. I'll tell you, for an example, I don't know how many of you remember the movie We Were Soldiers. This past week, Robin met the gentleman that movie was based on, a Medal of Honor recipient. And excuse me, Robin, but I still don't remember his name. But she presented him with an Orange Heart Medal.
Oh, that's awesome. And
as of today, I've got 8,315 of those medals out with their help. And with everybody's help within the organization. Joyce, she's constantly working. Robin's constantly working. However, I need to apologize to Robin, and she knows what for. She's watching. She knows. She needs to get out of that mood.
Uh-oh. There's a backstory there.
Yeah.
But the one of the reasons that Ken's in here with Terry today is because we actually visited this about a month ago. We talked a little bit about it, and we've got Vietnam Vets Day coming up, and on that day we're going to have a special ceremony. Can you kind of fill everybody in on that?
Yeah, we got Major General Tommy Baker is going to be the keynote speaker. And we got our mayor is going to introduce him.
Mayor Bo. He said the kids called him Mayor Bobo. But he was reading to some kiddos, and he said, "Do you know who I am?" And they said, "You're Mayor Bobo." I just thought that was so cute. Mayor Billy Vogel.
Okay,
he was on yesterday.
So we got Mayor Bobo.
He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me for that. But it was a little one. But it was so cute. It's so funny. But
we've got the junior ROTC going to do the MIA POW table again. They do such a great job.
Oh, they do. Mm-hmm.
And this year, I wanted younger people to get involved. I want them to know about Vietnam, about what went on. Mm-hmm. And so I got the East Robertson High School band that's going to play. And those kids are fantastic. I went to, on Veterans Day, I went to the program that they did at the grammar school there at East Robertson. And they had the high school band there. They were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
They were just fantastic. So I got with Richard Lee, and his son plays in that band. And we got that band to confirm that they would do it. And I'm just tickled to death with that. We've got, we're going to be reading every name on that memorial. And I will get you your list.
I have a list. So
yes, you have a list.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to try and get it out this coming week. Okay. That way you can practice on saying these northern names.
Yeah. So Joyce, start getting it ready.
Okay, let's go. Well, and assuming that my husband can help me with the pronunciation on these.
Well, right? I can't do it.
Okay, I'll figure it out. I got so many friends from other countries too. I have to. You talk about some names; they get kind of wild. But so remind everybody the date, the time, and all the specifics.
Yes, it's going to start at noon on 12 o'clock on March the 29th. That's Vietnam Veterans Day.
So right at the end of this month, you've got. Go ahead.
I know that it's a work day, and a lot of the guys, a lot of people can't come out, but they can take their lunch hour and just come by for 30, 40, 45 minutes. just to see what's going on. We're going to have tents set up. Terry's going to have a tent set up. I'm going to have a tent set up. Asa's going to have a tent set up.
Well, it's a party then if Ace is going to be there. I mean, come on,
Well, and she said something to me about somebody else that she knows would set a tent up for another organization, but she hadn't told
Could
me
it be
who
the
it
chamber in Jordan Osborne?
Could be. I mean, they're invited, to do this. I want tents from everybody that has supported this from the beginning.
Right.
I want them to set some tents up. Of course, that we don't have a DAV chapter here, so I think Hermitage is going to be the DAV chapter that's going to set up.
Okay.
We have a lady that's going to do the national anthem. She is a doctor over at the VA, and I haven't actually heard her, but I have heard of her, and they say she is fantastic. Now, she will not do it with music. She does it, what do you call it?
Acapella.
Acapulco.
Acapella. As a C of C, it's acapella.
Well, anyway.
The way we all sing.
And she's also going to read some names.
Okay.
So we've got Joyce is going to read some names. Robin's going to read some names. And Bobby Tyner's wife, Mary's going to read some names. I mean, what I've got is probably 9 people reading the names. That means they're going to have to read about 60 names apiece, because we have got the 9th cenotaph done. It just isn't on there yet, and neither is the second phase. But I was told the other day, we had a meeting with Legacy, and Miss Abigail, who is also going to read some names, told us that they had said that it will be in the week of the 29th. That, since Monday, just Tuesday is the 29th, that means it's got to be here by Monday. It will not be installed, though, if that's the case. But
right.
Hopefully it will be. If it's not, we're still going to read the names.
Absolutely.
We're still going to read their names.
I mean, it's a lot of work, guys. I mean, this stuff that's been going on with this memorial has been, it's a lot of work. And I talked to Vietnam. I was in Kentucky last month, and was sitting with my mama having, lunch at Cracker Barrel. There was a gentleman sitting there by himself, and he had a veteran's hat. He had a Vietnam hat on, and I was like, "Thank you for your service." And we talked, and he actually knew my friend Kenneth Pease that died in Vietnam because he was from back home, and we got to talking, and he didn't know anything about the Orange Heart Medal. It didn't sound to me like he had really followed through on. He had prostate cancer. Guarantee you from exposure. And I said, have you been working this? I'm stunned at how little he knew.
Well,
and just took my breath away that these veterans are not getting taken care of after their Agent Orange exposure.
Well, this is what it's what our foundation's all about, getting the word out.
You bet.
This is something that, and let me tell you, if a national magazine comes to me and says they want to interview me, I'm going to tell them, no, I can't do it. I mean, it's only one of me, and I'm putting in 18-hour days right now.
Well, we can give them a few other people's number and stuff, We'll give them Brother Joe's and...
Talk to your microphone. Stay around that microphone. Keep people in here, and they start talking to each other, and it's like, you got to keep your mouth on the microphone.
Yeah, we'll have to get Brother Joe, and may even have to slip Vern's number in there.
I'll say call Ken. I mean, it's like, what am I going to do? But no, here's the thing. If you're listening to this and you have some money to invest in a foundation that is a nonprofit that needs financial backing to get him some assistant people and things like that, because I know this young man does pretty much everything for nothing, and a lot of it out of his pocket, right?
Well, yeah, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, but still, to get you the proper help, you might need to hire somebody.
Well,
and
here's
if somebody
the thing.
came in to,
we're nonprofit.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to volunteer their time, fine. I
Right.
am not going to start this foundation with money going out for
Yeah.
wages.
I got you.
It's just not what it's about.
So he wants volunteers, guys. So
It's more of it's a gift from God. Is what it is.
I gotcha. I got
Got to be a calling.
Yeah, it's got to be a calling. So if you've got, I mean, and again, I just see this kind of getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, the only thing is, because it's centered around our Vietnam vets, and we're losing them at the rate of how many per day, gentlemen?
547.
547 per day we're losing.
When we started this foundation, it was 300 a day. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's 547. And I was told by our national commander that the reason is because we're getting old. Mm-hmm. But what he doesn't understand is that the Vietnam veterans' average lifespan is between 65 and 67 years old.
Yep.
Now, you go back to the Korean War, you go back to World War II, the veterans lived into their 80s.
Mm-hmm.
90s.
90s, some of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so anybody that tells you Agent Orange is not a real thing,
Yep.
you just got to understand. Once we're gone, and we're going to be gone in the next few years,
Mm-hmm.
Washington's not going to get rid of this because we have passed it on to our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren.
How many generations has Vanderbilt got it to now, Ken?
Well, 2 years ago, before this COVID started, they were in their 5th generation for females and 4th generation for males. Now, that's 2 scientists over there that are doing the research on dioxin. Mm-hmm. And, of course, with this 2-year thing here, Miss Tran, she's written 2 books and started on the 3rd one, and they are fantastic books. They're fiction, but they tell of the flight of the Vietnamese, South Vietnamese, that did not want to live under the rule of the North.
Oh, wow. I want to check that out.
And the book, she says it's fiction, but it's hard to believe it's fiction, being one that's been there.
So tell me again about this author and her book, because I would love to check that out. Do you know the spelling on the name? Maybe when I do a break here, y'all can figure it out, and we'll try to get it in comments, because this is something I want to read.
Okay, well, right now, my next door neighbor's got the first book, but I've got the second book.
Okay.
I'll get them to you.
If you'll just take a picture of the cover and send it to me, then I'll share it on comments. So, because I'm sure there's going to be other people that want it to check it out too.
They are now. Very seldom can I pick a book up and read it, because I'll read 2 or 3 chapters and I'll set the book down, come back later and read to it. These books, when I picked them up, I had to read them all the way through.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, it's that kind of a book. You just don't set it down.
Right.
It's fantastic. She's a fantastic writer. I mean, of course, she's got all kinds of papers out there being a scientist.
Right.
You know, that she's published beaucoup times. I mean, you know, so. But
well, I'm going to look forward to seeing that. So,
okay.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm just going to say I'll let you have them when my next door neighbor gets through with that first
We'll
one.
just hand them around.
Yeah.
That's it.
But, very good. We're talking with Terry Wilson and Ken Gamble, talking about all things veterans. We're specifically talking about the Vietnam Vets Day, which is March 29th. I'm going to be honored to be there. Yes, I'm going to have to take time off from work, but I get to take time off from work to be there. So not a problem at all, and I hope you guys will join us. Come take your lunch hour and join us. That'll be a good way to spend your time.
You better be there. You're the key. You're the MC.
I will be there. Of course I'll be there. You're funny. But I just want you to remember, guys, come out and join us. You will be so moved and so blessed by the time you spend just honoring our veterans. And do not hesitate. When you see these hats, I'm so proud we have these hats, and people are proud to wear them now, because it gives me the opportunity just to thank the veterans. And don't hesitate to do that, guys, because, I mean, man, they appreciate it when they know that you appreciate the fact that your freedom's not free.
Laverne, could I say one thing?
Absolutely. You can say 2 things.
We
3.
We appreciate people thanking us for our service, but you will see the majority of Vietnam veterans say, I had much rather be welcomed home.
Yeah.
Because we were never welcomed home.
You bet. You
Now,
bet.
we all had our service,
Right.
but very few of us got a welcome home.
You bet. And that wound runs very, very deep.
It does.
Very, very deep.
But I don't know whether this is appropriate or not, but let me say
Go
something.
ahead.
Since the VFW National Magazine article come out, I've got people sending me things.
Mm-hmm.
This is one thing that they sent me.
No. Okay, I'm going to show you. The views and opinions are our own and don't necessarily express the views and ownership of this radio station. Who sent you this? Who sent you this? Who sent you that?
Bobby Tyner down in South Carolina. I was telling him it was cold
So
up
funny.
here.
And he sent you that. Oh my goodness! We'll just leave it at that. I tell you what. Let me pause for a second and go ahead and do one of our ads. I'm talking with Terry Wilson and Ken Gamble, talking about all things veterans related, and also focusing too on our Vietnam Vets Day that will be coming up on March 29th. I am honored to be able to be the MC of that event. Hope you can join us, and I hope you'll go check out my friends over at Reisman Buick GMC. They are sponsors of this program, and just a fun story with the Reismans, how they picked Robertson County when they were looking around the country, scouring the country really to find a place to buy a dealership to come and build their business. They saw what we had going on here and they wanted to be a part of it. Great dealership. You can go and find what you want. If you don't find exactly what you want on the lot, no problem. You can come in and order your new vehicle, and when it gets here off the truck, it's yours. They make it real simple at ReismanBuickGMC.com. First thing that pops up is order my new vehicle, or you can just walk in off the street over at 2516 Memorial Boulevard and grab one of the sales folks and say, hey, I want a purple truck in this package, or whatever you want. You can order it from the folks over at Reisman Buick GMC. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 7:30 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. until 6 p.m., and they have a service department to back up everything they do. And you may have gotten this in the mail. I picked this up in my mail last week. And it is a flyer with all kinds of coupons from their service department, which is open every single day that the dealership is open. Their hours vary from the dealership, but that's a great way to introduce you to Reisman, is to grab these coupons, go in and see them, see what's going on, maybe get you something new to drive for 2022. Reisman Buick GMC. Friends of this program, when you get by there today, always tell them that U-Turn sent you. And talking with my friends, Terry and Ken, what else do we need to talk about, gentlemen? Do you have anything going on? I mean, you look kind of bored.
No, we've got a lot.
Okay. Well, we'll give him the floor for a minute and let him talk.
I'll give him a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Anyway, we're actually going to close the office today, that Vietnam Veterans Day, because we're going to have the service van there to where we can help shuttle veterans or families over from the parking area over to where the memorial is.
Okay.
We know we've got a lot of folks that may be either in wheelchair, walker, could be on just using a cane and can't, and they're afraid, I can't walk that distance. Don't worry about it. We're going to have the service van there to where we can bring them over. We do have the wheelchair lift in the back, so that way, if you're in a wheelchair, that doesn't matter either. We're going to be able to get you there. So there's no excuse not to come.
Absolutely.
So we've done our best to try to eliminate that.
I love it.
And so we want to make sure they do. A lot of people have been calling the office asking about the proposed changes, real changes that the VA has currently put out. They have it open for comments until April 18th. In these that they're doing, on the surface, looks really good. But when you get into the meat of it, basically it comes down as a cost-saving measure for the VA, and it's a way for them to eliminate some of the conditions that can be service-connected. Tinnitus is one of them. That's the ringing in the ears. It will now be, they're proposing to include that with hearing loss. Hearing loss is already hard enough to get, because if there is no shift in the hearing between entrance and exit exams, there's very little we can do on that. It does make it very difficult. the key thing that they're going to be looking on all these is functional impact. So, so someone goes in and they're with their hearing and tinnitus is tied in there. Well, does it keep you from being able to get up and go to work? If they look at it the way they normally do, well, the answer to that's going to be no. So they're going to say, well, there's no functional impact here. Does not hamper your ability to be able to earn. Mental health is one that they're getting ready to make a big change on. They're completely changing the criteria on that. They are changing it to a grading scale now, or is what they're proposing. It will be 1 to 4. It will be very hard if a veteran is at the 100% level for them to reach that level under the new proposed criteria. It's just making it very tough. Sleep apnea is being moved in with upper respiratory, sinusitis, rhinitis. They're all being put into upper respiratory now. But the key thing that they have on all these is functional impact.
Okay.
And so currently, we're encouraging a lot of our folks that we've been working on their claims, and we may still have some things out. If we really pushing to try to get their claims in before the middle of April, because those that are in will be grandfathered, will not fall under the new criteria. Once, I say they're proposed, it's pretty much whatever the VA proposes is what the VA is going to end up doing. It doesn't matter the comments you have, but we're pushing it. But after this goes into place, if we happen to file for an increase on sleep apnea, then they get to relook at the whole thing. Right now, you can max out at 50% with a CPAP. But what ends up happening if someone's sitting at 10 or 30% right now, and say this goes into effect first week of May, so May 15th, their doctor says, "Oh, this is getting worse for you." So they put in for an increase. So now they would be evaluated under the new criteria, and they would lose that grandfather. And so we are watching anybody that comes in and looking at an increase, if it's something we really need to look at. If it is, we're pushing to get everything in now. But if it's something that we're going to have to develop it, and we're not going to be able to file before the proposal goes into place, it's really put us behind the gun on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just sitting here listening to this and knowing veterans like I do, that, I mean, you answered several questions there about are they grandfathered in, the ones that are already to that point. Mm-hmm. But again, if they have to be really reevaluated for an increase, then that goes back to the new criteria.
Yeah.
Lots of very vital information there. If you have any vets in your family, be sure they hear what he just said, because that's crucial.
Because it's like right now, of course, I'm service connected for tinnitus. I still have a deferred claim out there on Meniere's disease. And I've actually talked to a buddy of mine, told him, I said, file the paperwork for me to pull that back. He goes, well, you don't want it? I said, no. I said, because remember, I said, it's tied with tinnitus.
Okay.
And I said, which means if they continue to work on that, then at that point in time, they're actually going to take and they'll put that in with my hearing loss. Mm-hmm. And at that point in time, they'll say, there's no functional impact.
Yeah. Because you're still working. Forget the fact that your ears ring all the time, you know, and that you got that during service, and it's just,
I can't hear you guys.
Oh, it frustrates me so bad. I mean, because we've been doing better by our veterans, and this is just taking steps backwards.
Well,
this is just taking steps backwards.
Well.
Yeah.
You don't see my you don't see my toboggan again.
No, I don't. We can't. We'll get in trouble. We don't want to. We are a Christian station, and we just love you. We do. We love you. Even if you're not on the same side with us, we love you. I was listening to a lesson about
and we'll pray for you.
That's right, and we mean that with all sincere, loving heart. But oh my goodness, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating, and hearing this kind of stuff just frustrates me even more.
It is. It really is. And but bottom line, what it comes down to, it's cost cutting for them.
Yeah.
And
the veterans are getting
but the first thing that's going to be done is this man is going to be a lousy VSO. Because he cannot get your claims through.
That's what they're going to think. That's what people are going. They're going to come back on you because, Terry didn't get it done. No. Let's not go there and just make sure that they understand.
But veterans, when they file a claim out, they expect something.
Right.
And when it's not going to be, and it's not going to be the VSO's fault. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the VA, the system.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to realize that. Mm-hmm. If they don't realize that, they're going to be, just...
We'll remind them.
Yeah. We have to.
We'll remind them.
We have to. Because this guy has done more for this county. You better believe it. Than anybody I know of. Mm-hmm. He has got more claims through. He has brought more money into this county than anybody.
Amen.
And it's not, and this right here puts him in a situation to where he cannot function the way he has been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, this is huge.
And the amount of money that's going to come in after this takes effect is going to be minuscule.
Minuscule next to what we've been seeing coming in for our vets.
Yeah,
Joe Burnett's chiming in. He says, on what the vets have to deal with, it's a war that never ends, and it's just. It's ridiculous, but
we shouldn't have to fight for the benefits and the things that have been so rightly earned.
Yeah.
I don't like using the word entitled, because my thought process is majority of people's really not entitled to anything. You have to earn everything that you should be getting, and if anyone has earned that, is the veterans, and they're the ones that's the hardest to be able to get anything for.
That's incredible.
And you look at it. When I was in, I was getting a whole 70 cents an hour. Oh. And I was dodging bullets. Mm-hmm. And you don't think what I get now from the VA is justified?
I mean, that's because when my son was in, I was just appalled at what they paid him, and then the fact that they took out of when he was living on base, and he lived on base the entire time he was in military, but when he was living on base, they pulled money out of his income to pay for the mess hall. Everybody's like, well, they get free room and board. No, they don't. They have to pay for their meals in the mess hall that they half the time don't even use. And they pull that out of their check. I mean, he got a little bit more when he was in Afghanistan, but
well, you get hazardous duty.
Yeah. But they were dropping bombs on them. So I mean, it's like, good land, people. If you've had anybody that served in the military and you know how little they pay them, you understand that this is something on the other side of that can help them. The ringing in the ears that's my son has to deal with that because he shot the big guns because he was a big boy and they gave him the big one, the one that you have to have somebody feeding it. I don't know what they call those things, but. I mean, his hearing's just gone. I mean, he's got such hearing damage, and so I mean, I'm going to make sure he hears this, and
I tell folks going forward, as VA keeps making changes, we have to be, and other folks like in our situation in our office, we have to be careful when we are looking at doing an increase. Mm-hmm. To make sure that we do have that we're meeting the criteria for what the current ratings are.
Right.
Because if we don't, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for us to get that back because once they do a proposal to reduce, we have 30 days to be able to request a hearing that could take a year or two down the road just to be able to get. That will keep them from decreasing it till they have that hearing. But if the hearing doesn't go in their favor, then at that point in time, they will reduce from that point forward. There is no overpayment for that because everything is suspended until that hearing takes place. Appeals right now used to be, I knew we could get them done in about 18 months. We are back up to the time limit of the legacy claims, and that's 3 to 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And that's to be able to do a video hearing. We are getting much better judges that are seeing this. And so we do have some that seem like a little more patriotic and have more family that have served more recently, and so they know the effects. And I think they are able to take that in consideration when they can see the veteran. Even though we're doing it on video, they can sit there, look at the veteran, and they can hear the pain, they can feel it, those things. Not every appeal needs to go in front of a judge, and so I'll usually make those recommendations how I feel that we are to do. And if there's one that I feel they really need to talk to the veteran and the spouse, then that's one that I'll fight to make sure we get a virtual on.
Yeah.
But if it's something that, say someone they filed for appeal tinnitus years ago, there's really nothing that we're going to be able to supply that's going to be more helpful in a virtual hearing than what's already there in the paperwork, because we've already made that argument.
Right. So, well, very good. And I'll tell you, this is really crucial information. If you're just joining us, and Terry Wilson comes on every month, and we talk about just a lot of times turkey shoots and different things like that. But this is a big, huge change in being able to apply for the compensation for damages that happened to your health while you were in the military. You need to get in touch with the office, talk to somebody, and just kind of make sure that you've got all this stuff covered, because you said this is coming down in April, right?
They closed the comment period April 18th. I would suspect that the proposal will actually be official, I'm thinking either first week of May or first week of June, because they usually roll it out pretty fast.
Okay. Not good news, folks, unfortunately, but appreciate you guys coming in and keeping us apprised of that. I had not heard any of this. So, okay, folks, make sure your veterans know what's going on with their claims. But let's go ahead and pause for a second, talking with Terry Wilson and Ken Gamble about all things that are concerned with our veterans. And we're going to pause for a minute and talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. When we open the show, we open it with Kilgore. We open it with Ridgetop Ramblers playing One Street Over. That's our theme song. We discovered that at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, and I like to mention the festival when I talk about Barry and Rebecca, because it's where I met them. We're going to have that show coming up May 20th and 21st, and I think those are the dates. It's that weekend, so I guess I need to confirm that. I keep saying that, but I'm hosting again this year, and I hope you'll come out and join us, and that'll be a chance for you to come out and talk to Barry and Rebecca. But don't wait until the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, which they sponsor and Barry's on the board of. But you can reach out to them at sellwithbecky.com. Talk to them about any property that you're wanting to buy or wanting to sell. And you can also talk to them about joining their team. They're looking for good team members for their the work that they're doing. It's a busy time, man. They need more realtors out there. The Exit Realty Garden Gate team, they'd love to bring you on. And if you want a career that's got great benefits, great instruction from Barry and Rebecca, reach out to them at sellwithbecky.com. And I can't say enough again about if you're looking for somebody to help represent you, with no matter what side of the table you're on, buying or selling, they're a great team, and you can see their listings that specialize in Robertson County at BuyRobertsonCounty.com, but always keep in mind that they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties across the state line in Kentucky. Barry's a marketer. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. They're the real deal. They take this very seriously, and they do a great job. They're one of us. They're up in Cross Plains, been there for over 20 years. So reach out to my friends, sellwithbecky.com or buy, B-U-Y, RobertsonCounty.com. Tell them U-Turn sent you. Okay, guys, what else do we need to talk about?
All right, let me say something.
Okay.
Now that Terry's brought all the veterans down,
Oh.
we've got some good news.
Okay.
we've got laws on the floor here in the state of Tennessee. One is to go back to the 2 license plates for the veterans that are 100% disabled instead of the one that we've got now. They've got it. They're going to amend it to where we can get 2 license plates free of charge. Okay. They've got it on the floor that our property tax, where we get $175 exemption now, $175,000 exemption now, they want to raise that to $250,000 exemption.
Oh, wow. That's great.
There's medical marijuana. There's a law on the floor for that, for people that medical reasons and what have you. They've got they will have a registry, and you have to be on that registry before you can purchase it. Okay, but it will be available to the people that need it.
Right.
Now, it's not recreational; it's medical.
And this has not passed yet. This is something that's pending.
This is all on the floor.
On the
this
floor
is all.
right now.
Well, it's coming up through. It's out of. These things are out of committee. They're coming out. And another one is they want electronic voting for veterans that are overseas and cannot vote.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
Well, they're going to test this at Fort Campbell, and they're going to see they've got security issues with it. So this is something that they're trying to work through and work out. But this would be a way that anybody that's overseas or what have you, they can go on their computer and vote, and it automatically comes in. And, I know when I was in there, I mean, we had the opportunity to vote, but your vote would never count because it'd never get back in time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was just ludicrous to do that. I mean, it just wasn't no way. But there's some more things on the floor there for veterans that my little pea brain here just can't remember all of them. But there is several other things on there for veterans.
Yep.
That Terry might know of them. I don't know.
Well, I don't know of all of them. I do have a list at the office.
Well, I got a list right here if you want to try and figure it out.
Well, some of them that that he maybe didn't mention.
One of the ones that they have out there that they are working on is for veterans that actually are state, county employees that are within the TCRS retirement system. And that's to take their service time and that be added to their retirement time. So, if they had 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, then that would be added on top of their time of service for retirement. So I think that's going to be a good thing for veterans there. Some of the ones in the legislature, they say, oh, we're giving too much tax relief to the veterans and all. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. We have 500,000 veterans roughly in the state of Tennessee. Not all of them are 100% permanent total. Some of them receive no VA benefits whatsoever. Property tax relief only comes in once someone is at the 100% permanent and total level, and they have to own property that they actually live in. Their name has to be on the deed, has to be listed in there, because if they're permanent and total and they're in an apartment, they don't get property tax relief. They don't own any property. And so to me, that's where some of the ones, when they start spewing that, is they're not telling the whole picture. Okay. Imagine that. And I think we've been very fortunate in this area to have people that listen to the veterans, that actually visit them, come out and talk to them, to know what is, the feeling is of the veterans is. And I'll put a plug in for Doc Kumar. I mean, him and his wife Linda have been wonderful listening to the veterans and him taking, bringing stuff from the Hill back to us and him taking back to Nashville. Kerry Roberts, Senator Roberts, I mean, he has been great too. So it's great to have people that we can actually talk to,
Right.
that can take our message back up. So, and when we was talking about a lot of the counties don't have service officers. Kentucky, they don't have one per county. The service officers in Kentucky actually are state employees, and they break them down into divisions, and they may have 6 to 8 counties or more per service officer. And so that's a lot of traveling some people have to do to be able to even go see one if they know about it. So folks being able to have assistance on filing their claims is probably one of the best kept secrets out there. It shouldn't be. We still have some folks that come in and say, oh, I didn't know y'all were here. But thanks to American Legion, the VFW, even our veterans that we've helped through our office that aren't a member of either one, they help spread the word. They tell folks, you know, are you getting your benefits? Well, why not? Well, I don't want to take away from the other guys. Well, you're not hurting them by doing it. You're hurting them by not doing it. Because that's, you know, VA has to appropriate their funds. It's how they get the medical equipment, the clinics, all that comes into play. And the healthcare side is different from the claim side. So the claim side people,
What are you trying to say, Terry?
we pray for them.
Do they put up barriers? Do they put up walls sometimes?
We pray for them.
Okay.
But on the healthcare, one of the things that I have really stressed with a lot of my veterans is if you're in the VA healthcare, how you treat the nurses and your doctor, unfortunately, can reflect on how long it takes you to get a referral appointment out. Now, granted, some of them are quite a while to get, but I've seen the guys that are really nice to their people there, and when they need something, they get it quick, fast, and in a hurry.
That old adage that you get more bees with sugar than you do with vinegar.
Let me tell you, Ray Teagarden used to take them an apple pie.
Oh, okay.
Getting back to the laws, there's one that I missed that's very important, and it's for the veterans that have passed in this COVID situation. Okay, they've got a law on the floor that the coroner or the doctor or whoever signs a death certificate has to pull the service record and see if it's a contributing factor of the service connection before they just write COVID on that.
Our friend Jimmy Johnson is a prime example.
Yeah.
The gentleman had all kinds of problems, health related, that go back to Agent Orange, I'm thinking.
Right,
I think that I know that. And then he died of COVID. Well, no, he didn't die of COVID. He died. COVID was made him, his system was compromised, and so he could not properly fight off that last enemy, right?
Yeah.
Would that be fair?
That's exactly what's happening. And if they put COVID on that death certificate, their spouse is not qualified for DIC.
That's the problem.
It does take some arguing.
And if they go in and search their medical records and see that Agent Orange is a factor, and that they've got cancer or they got Parkinson's or they got something else, then the COVID is not the contributing factor of their death.
Right.
COVID is just the instrument that killed.
Was the final straw.
Well, I feel blessed that the fact that I did know Jimmy, and I know his wife, Miss Francine.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful people. I remember always seeing them when we would have the annual holiday luncheon with the vet center and stuff at 50 Forward. Because I always told him, I said, now, does your wife know that you're out with this younger woman?
I'll have to get Francine to look at this. She'll be like, no, she's a lovely lady.
They did. They had COVID on his. It was listed on 3 lines. But thanks with her help and with what his service connection was, did up a nice letter, sent down to the pulmonologist. She had been talking to I think the PA that had helped her a lot. And so between the 3 of us, once the doctor looked at my letter, and he went back and added the conditions that we needed as contributing factors. For anyone who has diabetes, according to the American Diabetes Association, diabetes can actually cause additional complications that generally aren't taken into consideration. And so those things come into play. If I have a veteran that has asthma, any type of respiratory problems, that can definitely be a lot worse on them. Heart conditions. I would say for the majority, with COVID, our Vietnam vets, with the exposures that they had, the conditions that they have, made them more susceptible of getting this, and also made it harder for them to recover. But then we take and we add PTSD in there for those that are suffering from it, and 9 times out of 10, anyone that comes in my office, the first thing they'll tell me, Terry, I don't have PTSD. Oh, okay, none of us do. And then after we talk for a while and talk to them about counseling, and
after you slam that thing down on the desk and you find them under the table,
and they jump.
And but it's very real, because it does affect your will to thrive. Mm-hmm. Any type of mental or mood disorder will affect your will to thrive, and so those are things that if I have a death certificate comes in, then I go. If I can't remember the claim myself, I will go back and look and see what it is. But those that I have built friendships up with, I know what they're service connected for. Mm-hmm. And don't make a loud noise around Ken.
Could I get a plug in for the foundation?
Yeah,
real quick, because you do, and then I've got to do an ad, and then we're getting about out of time. So go.
But I think one of the reasons that has really helped our office be successful is the fact that we've always tried to be straight up mm-hmm. with all of our folks, and tell them what the possibility is and whether or not we should actually file that claim. And we do have a process, and that process has worked for us more so than other areas. And so we just ask everyone to pack their patience and let us develop it the right way that gives us the best chance of winning. And if you want us to sugarcoat something in our office, as I tell them, there is not a bakery sign on our door, so we don't sugarcoat anything.
How funny. I tell you what, let me do, you do your thing on the other side of this break. Let's go ahead and pause for a second. Talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. They're open Monday through Saturday right now, 9 to 4, or 10 to 4. Actually, we found out on the Facebook page yesterday. They're getting ready for their big customer appreciation days. Don't forget to put that on your calendar. I believe, I'm going to pull this up real quick. I'm thinking it's on, I don't have it in front of me. But the Customer Appreciation Day is going to be May 7th. May 7th, Customer Appreciation Day, so please put that on your calendar. And the hours are pulled back a little bit right now for the center because it's colder, but as things start heating up, they're going to extend their hours. They'll be back open on Sunday. But I can't remind you enough that now is a really good time to go and talk to Amy, talk to Miss Jane about the questions that you might have, because the busier they get, the harder it is just to, corral them for a conversation about advice on your garden, the things that you want to do in your yard. And also, if you have questions about CBD products, CBD has been a game changer for me. I just can't say enough about it, how much it has helped me with the inflammation issues that I have in association with arthritis. So if you want to see if it'll work for you, go by and talk to them, and they can answer your questions. They're very, very well read on the subject, and they can help you learn more about it. And if you're interested in checking into CBD, how about Robertson County CBD? That's what you're going to get at Corbin Creek. Everything they have there is processed from plants that were grown run right here in Robeson County. You can go see them again Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4. They'll be back open Sundays as soon as it warms up a little bit more, but you can call them and talk to them about everything. 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. Tell them U-Turn sent you. All right, your turn, Ken. What you got?
All right, for all the Vietnam veterans that are watching, I'm going to show you the application for the medal. Now, the medal is free. All you have to do is go to orangeheartmedal.org. If you go to that website, that's the application that you filled out for the medal. Now, if you want your name on the memorial, that's the application you fill out. They're very simple. Anybody can do it. Now, the application for the memorial, that does take a donation of $150 to get your name on there. I wish it would be free like the medal, but we have to pay for it. And that's just the way free enterprise works.
Well, and if you want to get this, if you want to do this for somebody, Lee Marie had how many veterans they put on there from her church?
4 or 5.
And they fundraised for it.
Yeah,
and I mean, she just tickles me to pieces. And she's coming up actually here in just a few minutes for the Go Show. But she did a whole bunch of folks. And,
she has been just a little worker bee. I'm going to tell you.
She's
Lee
a
Marie.
Californian that we're really glad she's here.
But
we're talking about you, Lee Marie. Hope your ears are burning. She's coming up. You got something for us before we wrap up here?
Yeah.
I know we're out of time,
Our
guys.
office contact is Robeson County Veteran Service Office. We're located at 505 South Brown Street here in Springfield. That is the old Jesse Holmes Hospital. That is now the county office building.
Very good.
We're on the first floor, room 152. We're just right between the county clerk and the trustee's office. And our phone number is 615-382-6506. That's 615-382-6506. And if Ashley does answer the phone, she is fully accredited. She can answer about 99% of the questions that come in. So even if you're told to talk to me, please talk to either her or Scott as well, because I still have a lot of files backlogged.
How many times do you have to say that? You can talk to other people. You don't have to talk to Tara.
Many times a day. And if someone needs assistance on getting online because they are not computer friendly, we can help them do that at our office. And I keep applications there to go on the have their name on the wall. So we do keep those and can turn that in through us, and we'll hand it to Ken.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for joining us. Terry Wilson, Ken Gamble, our guest, and we'll be reminding you about Vietnam Veterans Day. This is 1100 WSGI. Stay with us because Lee Marie and the Go Show, they're coming up right after this. Do you stop for the school bus? Most would say absolutely, but did you know that if you encounter a bus on a multi-lane highway with 5 or 6 lanes and there's no barrier or grassy median, then both directions of traffic are required to stop. That means Highway 41, locally known as Memorial Boulevard, and Highway 431, better known as Tom Austin Highway, require traffic in both directions to stop when a bus is loading and unloading passengers. When you see a bus or a school zone, slow
Jordan
down.
with your local